Hey guys, Maxx Stronk. With the dangers of being a baddie. So before you're going to do some bad stuff, get out of your good ship and pick up a free ship. The free ship is going to be your Corvette class. Depending on what your race is, you'll have a different ship. So basically, just get out of whatever ship you're in, into your pod, undock, and head to the nearest station. You automatically get a free ship. The reason for doing this is because it's very likely you're going to get blown up. And why risk a good ship when you can get one for free that'll do the job just as well? This is really important when you're starting out and you don't have a lot of ISK. Well, there's no sense wasting it. So I'm a Caldari Alpha, and any of your Caldari characters will get the Ibis as their free ship. Now, when I started, the free ships didn't come with an afterburner, and they do now, which makes a big difference in getting this stuff done. So you'll hear the little ding when you pull into a station. That's the Pend Insurance giving you the free ship. Just go to your ship hangar and jump into your ship. And no, you can't put your ship into the pod. I don't know why I did that. But anyways, get into your free ship and undock. And now, in this particular case, I'm looking just for anything. But primarily, the thought is I'm going to go out and steal stuff that doesn't belong to me. And when you do that, you become a suspect, and anybody can legally shoot you. So that's why you don't want to use a good ship, because you become the target of everybody. These little ships will be fine and pick up most of the stuff that you need. So we're going to head out and see what kind of trouble we can get into. And basically, Jitta, you can do very well in a trade hub, but you have to be very quick. I've on one loot that I did one time, I made 400 million. That was probably my biggest haul, but we're not going to do Jitta right now. We're going to go to adjacent systems and see what we can find. Basically, when you're starting out, what you want to look for is going to the asteroid belts and seeing what's left behind and stealing that. Most of the time, there's nobody left in the belts. You can pick the stuff up and get to a station, and you don't have any problem. It's just free money. Very simple to do. A good way to make a lot of money quickly. The best thing to find is drones, in particular Tech 2 drones. Those usually have the most value that you're going to find laying around. Occasionally, you'll find stuff along these gates. Now, the stuff at the gates can be worth a lot, or they can be garbage. The problem is there's a lot of people generally hanging around, and it's difficult to get away with the loot. So you can see we jumped into this gate, and there's a little yellow icon of a wreck showing up in our overview, and we're going to go check it out. I don't see anybody right now just hanging out at this gate, but you don't know. I mean, somebody could pop in at any second, and if you're suspect, they can engage you without consequence. So let's see what's in it. And generally it tells you what type of ship it is, so you have an idea of what you're going to find already. So this is pretty much junk. It's really not worth the risk of grabbing this right here on a gate. So we're going to head to a belt and look for it. If that was worth a few million, I would definitely try to steal it and run away. But right now, that's just not, worth the effort. Oh, so look what we have here. Some NPC miners. Now, you can attack these and steal their loot. Since they're mining vessels, it's usually ore and, a couple pieces of equipment, maybe some scrap metal or something. So let's check this out. Let's see if we can gank one of these with our free Ibis. So click your afterburner, approach this puppy, you get in range, lock it up, and then we'll start blasting. So the mining vessels don't generally have any weaponry of their own. Occasionally regular players will carry drones that can engage you with, but these guys don't. So let's see what happens. Now, this is something, you know, you're allowed to do in the game. You get a warning here, and you'll see why in a minute. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and start blasting this guy. Now, our cheap little ship with our cheap little civilian gun does very, very little damage to this. So it looks like we would really need a lot more firepower to take this thing down anytime soon. And, you know, since we don't have any way of stopping him from leaving, the ship could fly away at any moment. And uh-oh, friends show up. Now we're in trouble. Now we got to try to get out of here as soon as we can. And we're starting to warp. We're going. Oh no, we just been scrammed. Oh, we're in trouble. We're going down. We're dead. That's the danger of attacking the NPC mining fleets. They call for reinforcements. Now, if you were with a couple of buddies and some decent ships, that would be a fun little engagement. But solo in the Little Ibis, it's no contest. So now we lost our ship. We're going to have to go back and get a new one. Well, good thing they're free. So we'll just dock up at the nearest station and pick up another ship and see what other trouble we can get into here. Yeah, and you'll find certain parts of space where you can't dock in the stations. That's generally in low sec. Null sec and occasionally low sec. In high sec, you should be able to dock in every station there is. There might be some restrictions if you're a faction warfare pilot, but that's a different scenario. So here we go again, getting our free ship. And we'll switch into it and head out. Alright, see what we got in this belt. Ah, see the yellow. That's some loot for us to steal. Now we see a couple of the red pirates, the rats, in this belt. So we're going to race to the loot, try to scoop it up, and get out of here before we get engaged by the rats. Now, I make a huge noob mistake here, and this shows the dangers of what happens. A lot of times, multiple things are happening at once, and that's when you die. So, I'm trying to approach the loot and get it into my cargo hold. And here we are. We have to get within, I think, 2,500 meters in order to loot a wreck. And we're slowly getting there. The micro warp drives are much better than the afterburners. So here I am. I think I'm looting this. Now these guys are getting in close. I'm trying to loot the next one real quick. I'm being engaged. So now I'm going to have to start fighting. So you can click, press control, and then click on the ship in your overview, and that'll lock it. You can hit F1 to fire your primary weapon. So I'm shooting and I'm trying to loot, and it's not working. And I can't figure out why. And it's because of this safety mechanism that's built in. I generally have all my safety set to red, which allows me to do anything. So here's your safety. Click on it. You have to be yellow in order to loot things that don't belong to you. And that'll allow you to commit suspect level crimes. See, I just became a suspect. See the little skull that's yellow? Now, I didn't notice this at first, but this venture flies in while I'm trying to loot and trying to engage the enemy. And he decides to engage me. Because I'm a suspect, it's legal for him to do that without consequence. However, it's a pretty dumb move for that individual. He screwed up big time. He should have been right on top of me before he engaged, because his weaponry is just those drones. I was already engaged with an NPC, so he should have let the NPC done a bunch more damage before coming after me. So I got away because he had no way of keeping me there and didn't have enough firepower to kill me quickly. So because we have a limited engagement timer, the little green thing in the upper left hand corner, I now can legally fight him for the duration of that timer without consequence. So I could have docked up at the station, got in the biggest ship I owned, and gone back and just blew him away for the fun of it, because he didn't kill me in time. Even if he had killed me, I still would have been able to gone back if there was enough time and blown him up. I could have just gone straight to a station. This is just kind of a habit from being in hostile territory where I can't dock anywhere, that I start bouncing. So checking out the individual that engaged us, looks like it's a new player, maybe a noob, maybe just a new character. Don't know, but it was a good try on their part. But I don't think they really thought the consequences out. Now, an Ibis and the Corvette class ships are probably the easiest things to kill. So the fact that he didn't kill me, definitely means he doesn't have very good drone skills. And like I said, he should have been closer before locking me up and engaging me, because the drones really didn't get to do much damage before I was able to leave. If they were right on top of me before they engaged, they might have been able to get a couple more volleys off, and maybe I wouldn't have gotten away. So now we're just going to go to the station and sell our little loot that we captured, which wasn't much. And this is the risk of being a baddie. Anybody, like I said, can engage you once you become a suspect. And you'll know you've become suspect with the little yellow skull and crossbones in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. So here's my Ibis. It's taking a beating. So when you dock up in a station, your shield is automatically repaired for free. There's no cost for it. This is the little bit of loot we got. Not much. We'll just stack it up and sell it off. The trit that you get, the little mineral, that comes free with every Corvette class ship. By itself, it's worthless. Do not sell it. You'll lose money on the sale. And a lot of people do that without realizing it. You can trash it, or you can save it until you have a bunch and then sell it later, or use it for your manufacturing or what have you. So we made a little bit of ISK there. Not much, because I didn't have my safety set to yellow before I started, and ended up spending too much time trying to figure out why I wasn't looting. And then the whole engagement thing. So we can see a little bit what I've made. You can see the sale of the ore versus the little bit of the sale for the stuff we just looted. So far, not very good in the looting department, but it takes several attempts. And you can see here's your... this basically means you can't log off in space. The first one, there's your suspect timer, your combat timer, and so I still have a minute that I could go back and fight the individual, but we're not going to do that since I only have the Ibis. And that's the dangers of being a baddie in Eve.